Gibbs, good start around the outside. He'll take the lead away from Rico Abreu. Corey Day to the inside of Rico. Rico around the outside. Oh, Ty Gibbs upside down big time in turn 2 into the catch fence, and he comes to a stop.
On Thursday, March 12, 2026, at the dirt track inside Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Ty Gibbs climbed into a 410-winged sprint car and went racing, just miles away from the 1.5-mile intermediate oval where the NASCAR Cup Series would be competing that same weekend. Gibbs lined up for the 2026 high-limit racing season opener, a 3-night event that draws some of the best sprint car talent in the country. He was running 4th in his heat race. Then in a matter of seconds, everything went wrong. Driving the number 84 machine for Chad Boat Industries, Gibbs made contact with Corey Day, a regular in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts series. Gibbs drove over the right rear wheel of Day's machine, and his own car went up on its side before rolling multiple times at the exit of turn 2. The car slammed the catch fencing before falling back to the ground. The crowd fell silent. For a few agonizing seconds, nobody knew what condition Gibbs was in. Then, the 23-year-old pulled himself from the car and walked away from the accident scene. Speaking immediately afterward to Flow Racing, Gibbs kept it straightforward. "Yeah, I'm fine. I think Corey just got super loose there, and I got pointed to where it was hooked up and just caught his right rear a little bit and dug the front end in. So yeah, we're good. Just unfortunate. We'll come back up tomorrow and go get them." Later, reflecting further on the incident, Gibbs was even more candid about what happened on that track. "The track was super slick on the inside, and Corey got way sideways, and I had a huge run. I don't think necessarily the track was ready. Kind of just backed up so quick, and I was already committed to running around the top, and I should have been a little bit more careful, but I didn't. It is what it is." 2 quotes, 2 perspectives, 1 consistent message: Gibbs walked away and he planned to come back. To understand why this moment mattered beyond just a crash, you need to know who Ty Gibbs is and what he has been building toward. Gibbs is 23 years old and drives the number 54 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing in the NASCAR Cup Series. He is the grandson of Joe Gibbs, the legendary NFL coach and NASCAR team owner who built one of the most successful organizations in the history of the sport. Ty carries that name into every race he enters, and with it comes pressure that few drivers his age have ever faced. He is a former NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series champion, which means he has already proven he can win at a high level. But the Cup Series has been a different challenge. Through 4 starts in 2026, Gibbs sits 15th in the championship standings with 101 points and an average finish of 17. He still has not won a Cup Series race. What has shown promise this season are 2 specific results: back-to-back top 5 finishes at Circuit of the Americas and Phoenix Raceway, where he finished 4th in both races. Those results suggested that Gibbs is developing the consistency that Cup-level racing demands. His presence on dirt is part of a deliberate strategy. Drivers like Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson, both of whom grew up racing on dirt, have credited that background as a key element of their performance on pavement. Gibbs has been working to build that same foundation, competing in the World of Outlaws series and the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals in addition to events like high limit racing. The dirt track is where raw racecraft gets sharpened. The risk, however, is real. What happened on Thursday night was not just alarming because of how violent it looked. It carried a layer of history that made it feel almost inevitable. Gibbs actually flipped in this same event 1 year ago, making his high-limit racing debut at the time. During that 2025 appearance, he advanced all the way into the A-main before the airborne crash ended his night. He has now flipped in back-to-back appearances at the same event, at the same track, in the same series. That pattern raises a legitimate question, one that has been part of NASCAR conversations for years now. Is dirt racing worth the risk for Cup Series regulars? When a driver climbs into a sprint car days before a points-paying Cup event, the downside is not just a wrecked race car. It is a potential injury that could sideline them for weeks, damage their championship run, and cost their team millions of dollars in preparation and opportunity. Gibbs himself seemed to acknowledge this after the crash, noting, "I feel fine, so we'll keep going, might be able to run a non-week race. I don't think I'm gonna now, but yeah, we can come back tomorrow, and the next night gets a little out of the experience, so it'll be fun." That comment about skipping a non-points race suggests a level of self-awareness. He is not reckless. He understands the math, but the crash still happened. While Gibbs was walking away from the wreckage, the rest of Thursday night's feature played out at a high level. Kyle Larson, who also owns High Limit Racing, delivered one of the most impressive performances of the night. Charging from 5th, he reeled in race leader Giovanni Scelzi with 8 laps remaining, slipped past him, and then held off Corey Day by just 0.096 seconds to win the feature race. Kyle Larson went on to win Thursday night's feature race, besting Day in a nail-biting finish. Corey Day, the same driver involved in the contact with Gibbs, finished second in the feature. He went from being part of a crash in the heat race to nearly winning the main event. It was a remarkable turnaround in the same evening. Larson's win also underscores the tightrope that Cup drivers walk when they race on dirt during a Cup weekend. Larson won on Thursday night on dirt and then headed into Sunday's Cup race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as a contender on pavement. For Larson, the dirt-to-pavement transition is seamless because he has spent decades doing exactly this. For younger drivers like Gibbs, the development process is still ongoing, and the margin for error on a slick dirt track in a 410 sprint car is essentially zero. The 2026 Las Vegas Cup weekend carries additional storylines worth noting. Denny Hamlin on his Actions Detrimental podcast issued a warning to a fellow Cup Series competitor, stating that the driver will need to significantly improve their performances if they want to qualify for the chase at the end of the regular season. Hamlin has never been shy about delivering those kinds of verdicts publicly. One Cup Series star was officially ruled out of the Las Vegas race, with a replacement driver confirmed by the team, a driver described as bringing significant experience to the seat. Additionally, two-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch revealed a serious injury that occurred just days before the 2026 season opening race at Bowman Gray, describing a wound that was actively bleeding. Busch competed regardless, which says something about the culture of toughness that defines this sport. Heading into Sunday's Cup race, Ty Gibbs enters Las Vegas Motor Speedway in a better position than the Thursday crash might suggest. His momentum from COTA and Phoenix is real. His number 54 Toyota is capable of running inside the top 5. His championship position at 15th gives him room to climb, and the fact that he walked away from a multi-roll crash into a catch fence, uninjured, composed, and already talking about coming back the next night, says something concrete about where he is as a competitor. Gibbs drove over the right rear wheel of Day's machine, and his own number 84 went up on its side before rolling multiple times at the exit of turn 2. That is what happened. That is what he survived. And on Sunday, he will strap back into the number 54 Cup car and line up at the same Las Vegas facility. This time on pavement, this time for points, and this time with the full weight of the 2026 season on the line.